Even Stevie Wonder can see that America is Habakkuk 2, verse 6. With that, I would like to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Ruach the Wada, Yahweh, for giving us Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh Bashimashai in them. Double honors to the CT bishops, elders of GMS, our big brothers. Greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world who are prophesying in the true name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. I'm Yahiquab, Lord willing, serving the King of the universe, all right, which is King Yahushai, son of Abba Yahweh. And once again, the title is Even Stevie Wonder Can See that America is Habakkuk 2 verse 6, which is biblical prophecy. All right, a major biblical prophecy, look, just like many others, proving one of the major attributes of the nation that's going to be destroyed by Yahweh Bashim Yashai, all right, what you ignorantly call God and sea, which is the power of the nation of Israel. So, you know, this is something I just wanted to bring out. This is something that was actually shared to me by Brother Nas. He actually text me, you know, he actually did a show and text me something about that America, Babylon the Great, they broke the world record, so to speak, and accumulated $500 billion in 20 days. Okay, I believe it was $500 billion in 20 days, which was a record of increasing the national debt. Okay, now I have a few articles I want to share that points this out, but also while just gathering some notes before the show, this happened again in a similar year in '08. All right, so that's interesting too. That it was it was still 500 trillion, but it was basically 23 days instead of 20. And so anyway, and that was in '08. So you know the '08 economy, you know, the housing market, the banking system, when the system crashed, basically kind of mirrors what it is, what the economy looks like today. And it's happening around around the same time too. I think with the end of the quarter, they call it the third quarter, or the quarter, whatever you call it. So don't want to make this show long, but again, I just wanted to, Lord willing, bring this out because this is one of the major, again, attributes, one of the many signs that the Lord has showed us of that nation He's going to destroy, and one of the major attributes, other than being the wicked, killing off and committing genocide amongst the Most High's people, and crossing out the Lord, and being involved in promoting perversions like same sex and that Sodom and Gomorrah society, right? And all the other ones being wicked, right? One of the other major attributes again is national debt. All right. And again, America is basically is world record breaking debt, man, in the world's history. All right, so let's first, before I read the articles, and of course I'm going to finish off with that prophecy in Habakkuk, right? And of course, Stevie Wonder I used was just a figure of speech to show how obvious it is, man. Okay, the word is, I believe, infallible. Oh no, I'm saying it wrong. Infallible or undeniable. Okay, how how clear it is that through America's debt alone, right, proves that this is Babylon the Great. This is that nation, and Habakkuk 2:6 is talking about, which is biblical prophecy. So again, Salakia. So I got again a few articles, and I just want to start off by showing this debt clock that I remember Apostle Har showed us years ago, and all of us GMS members, always go to this as a reference, man. And again, when my brother Nas showed me the spending in $500 billion in 20 days, which is world breaking, I couldn't even believe it, But then again, I can, right? Because America, we're about to see, spends an unsurprising amount of money, man, ridiculous, which proves they have no, their credit rating has gone down. Now, if we go to world debt clock, let's see how bad they're stating. Now you see, you see the U.S. debt clock, and we put in world debt clock. So if you go to world debt clock, who leads? Okay, more proof, America. Okay, and it's not even close. It's not even close. Look at that, man. America is 33 trillion. All right, and climbing, as you can see, in debt. Right, and they're under, like, their gross domestic product, how much money they gross as a nation, Babylon, it doesn't even break even, man. All right. Now you see China, they create more money, right, that they're in debt in. Right, if I'm reading that wrong, right? What's that? Right. So, yeah, right. Okay, yeah. So there's 17. Yeah, so there. Yeah, so China makes more money than they're in debt. Okay, Japan's real way off, but all the other countries like Germany, they make more than they're in debt, than they owe. UK, they're under, but at least they're somewhat even, but they're under. India, they make more than they owe. Let's go to Russia. That's so peaked as the boogeyman and the spawn of Satan by the media, U.S. media. Let's see how they're doing. Russia. Okay, look at Russia. Russia looks like a responsible economy, man. Look at that. They're not even in the trillion worse, and they're in the billions. And they make trillions as a nation. Why? Because, as of the BRICS nations, they're going up. And biblical prophecy, according to Ezekiel 38, the Lord said, I shall put hooks in thy jaws, right? Not only do the military might by having the most nuclear capability and power and more advanced technology, but they have a better economy. All right. Look, this is the proof. Look at that. Okay. So when someone has better credit than you and has their household and more in check than you, and you owe shit, you got nothing to say about other nations, man, like America. How the hell is they gonna sanction and put regulations on nations when you can't even break the bank? You can't even break even. You owe money. You don't make money. All right. Anyway, so that's an obvious sign, right? Again, proven biblical prophecy, Habakkuk 2:6. Look at that, the national debt. And I remember Pastor Hart brought out years ago, which I tried to look up before the show. There's something called like a hidden debt or a true debt. Now I looked up some stuff. I couldn't pinpoint it, but if any brother wants to post that or kind of go into it or write something on the comment board, this is going to be pre-recorded. But so I'm not like I can't be interactive, but the true debt of America, I remember we brought out years ago, was like in 120 trillions, man. And that was years ago. So what is it now? 200 trillion, 180 trillion. and they hide their debt in other nations as well. Like China. China has bought a lot of America's debt. So even though it says 33 trillion there, it's even actually more. Okay, like with offshore accounts and whatever have you, hiding their money. All right. Now let's go. So I just want to show that major proof right there that supports Habakkuk 2 and 6. And if you go again, you can just type in the U.S. debt clock and check it out for yourself. As you can see, it's still climbing, right? And it breaks down the categories. You got debt per citizen, 99,000. Debt per taxpayer, 258,000. U.S. federal budget deficit, as you can see, they didn't follow that. U.S. federal spending. Okay, as you know, they just gave what, 30 billion to Israel, or they about to. All right. If you go to this side here, you see other stuff here. It's interesting. U.S. federal tax revenue, revenue per citizen. Let's see, so total state revenue, state debt. All right, so just go over a lot of different categories within the debt, like categorized within the debt of America. Social Security debt, Medicare debt, defense war spending, so you can see it. So it's very informative site to look into. As you can see, there's something up here called the time machine, so I can go back into time or in the future, right? Well, not future, but we can go to 1980 and look at the debt then. Boy, look at that. In 1980, it was let me see, $918 billion in debt. Okay, and mind you, they just did most of that, half of that, in 20 days. Okay, and it just shows you also how weak the dollar is, right? That so much spending they have to do to actually make it hold weight and whatever they're trying to spend money on. All right, so it's just a lot more spending they have to do to show you how weak the dollar is. It doesn't have that weight anymore on it, All right, so just showing you things with debt clock, and you can explore for yourself. Just go through the years, see what the debt was in each year. See, in 2004 it was 7 trillion. 2000 it was 5 trillion. Okay, and 2023 right now as we speak, it is 33 trillion. This is crazy, man. All right, so we got enough of that. Let's go to article I want to read, and I'll post it in the description. Again, I don't want to make the show too long. This is let me see, what is this? Yeah, it says U.S. national debt passes new landmark. All right, world breaking debt. Right, so it says we will read a little bit. So it says the country's gross financial liabilities top 33 trillion for the first time on record. Right, U.S. national debt has hit a record high of 33 trillion, according to a daily report delating the nation's balance sheet published by the Treasury Department on Monday. And yet today is the 18th. This was posted like a month ago, this article. Yeah, about a month ago. Brother Nas brought it out last week, so I'm just getting to it now because it is that powerful to me. And I just wanted to share it through the spirit. And like Apostle Gabar just said, I saw what he did with Big Brother Elder Zakaran. We got to bring out the scriptures like lively stones, so we got to bring the prophecies out and bring life to it. Your reaction when you hear this should be, oh shit, or wow, like this is really real. Yeah, that is that prophecy, right? So that's why I felt anytime I see, and when I saw this, along with many other things, prophecies that the Lord has waken us up to see. Anyway, it says U.S. national debt has hit a record high of 33 trillion, according to a daily report detailing the nation's balance sheet published by Treasury Department on Monday. It said the real-time U.S. debt clock, the website, has put the action debt level at 33.4 trillion and the debt to GDP ratio 120. Let's see what else. Nevertheless, she urged policymakers to act swiftly. Hold on. Okay, this was actually the correct article. All right, but still the same topic. So if you read, it says U.S. adds 500 billion to debt in less than a month. All right. It says the 31.4 trillion debt ceiling was surpassed in January. Right. It says U.S. national debt surged by more than 500 billion in just 20 days to reach 33 trillion, according to data provided by the Treasury Department last week. It says September 18th, the Treasury reported that the amount of money borrowed from the federal government to cover operating expenses stood at 33 trillion. It took Washington 3 months to drive it from 32 trillion to current level. All right, so so that's crazy, man. So that's basically $1 trillion in 3 months, or $1.5 trillion. And it really $1 trillion in 3 months. So you divide $1 trillion divided by 3 months, right? You probably get around 500 billion. Okay, less than 20 days. Okay, so it says the debt ceiling, which was legally set at 31.4 trillion, was surpassed in January. The total output of the economy was 25.46 trillion. So again, we saw that too, that they're not breaking even, and they spend more than they make, right? And that's consumer 101, or buying. I don't know how you phrase it, but you don't do that if you don't spend more than you make, right? Which is hard if you're not making a lot of money too, or but especially as a nation, you can't do that. All right, so it says the White House has been pressing Congress to lift the limit. On June 3rd, President Joe Biden signed a bipartisan debt bill that allowed the limit to be lifted until January 2025, thus averting an economic disastrous default. Yeah, because that means something that happened in 08, a crash. But it is going to happen. It's inevitable. But they're just trying to delay it. Like the scriptures say, but what if Babylon could be healed? All right, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. So there's no austerity measures or no, what do you call it? What are those checks that they were giving out? I forget what it was. Stimulus checks. That's gonna, or anything they do, a bailout or extended time. That's going to help America, man. Why? Because it's biblical prophecy that a nation in the latter days is going to lead in debt. And that's going to be a major sign. All right. And this is the proof. Right? So they can't delay this disastrous default, especially with the BRICS nations. They're announcing the dollar, man. That's why nobody's messing with the dollar. Okay? Because it has no value. All right, it says that the deal on raising the debt limit was fiercely debated in Republicans and Democrats for the weeks. the prolonged dispute over spending priorities, but the measure's approval at risk amid fears that the Republicans, who hold the majority of the blah, 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 blah. All right, so we don't have to read anymore. Just, yeah, we already read it. That was the article I clicked on, right? Passes new landmark, which is basically a world record. So I'll post both articles in the description. Let's go to this one here. Now, this is something I found by accident. And you can see it says national debt soars 500 billion in under a month. Okay, so this happened once again before. And what year? 08, that special year. Okay, that's when I came into the truth. This is October. I came in March. All right, so I was already in the camp at that time, along with my other brothers. Oh yeah, that I wanted to shout out too, by the way. I forgot to mention a shalom to the Akim out there, you know, who shared my videos. You know, I'm a Gabar, my beloved brother from the same father. GMS South Carolina, shalom to you, brother. Nadazak, Shapa, 12 Tribe. I wrote it down here. They shared my video. Shakwat Ayash. GMS Facts Works 144. Shalom, beloved. GMS Amon Abad. Shalom, warrior. GMS Enduring Servant. Shalom to you, Akim, man. You know. And ones I forgot, you know, for sure. Oh, GMS in his likeness. My brother out there. You know, so much love to you, Akim, and people I missed. But the water for sharing the videos is a great help, you know. The water. And the Aquath out there too, Tina Paris, Shalom beloved. You know, all the Aquath and Akim who watch the show. All right. There's many more, but I forgot to write it down. My memory's bad, but you know who you are. All right, so Salak, I just segued Salak. So, all right, so this article, national debt soars 500 billion in under a month, and oh yeah, it was Abigail, right? There's another one, Shalom, beloved. And there's other ones I can remember, you know, so like just bother me right now. But anyway, right, so you see this article, it says national debt soars 500 billion. So this happened before. Okay, it says it's the surge you won't hear anyone boast about. Never before in the U.S. history has the national debt increased as much as rapidly as it over the past month. Since September 30th, the day national debt hit this 10 trillion mark for the first time, the government has run up over 500 billion in a new debt. So this was in 2008, and it hit 10 trillion. Okay, now we're at 33 trillion, man. Okay, that's a 23 trillion difference, if my math is correct. That's more than the federal deficit for the entire 08 fiscal year that ended September 30th. And it's the most rapid increase in national debt ever. Well, here it is. How many years later? 15 years later, whatever have you? 16 years later? Look at it now, all right? Even worse. So I'm not going to read this whole thing. I just want to point out, you know, this happened before, okay? And 08 wasn't a good year for Babylon, all right? Banks merged, businesses were being liquidated, things were bad. The barrel of oil was at 147 a barrel, which made the stock market crash. All right, so anyway, let me finish off because I'm getting late, so let's finish off with a scripture. All right, like I said, even Stevie Wonder, all right, can see that America is Habakkuk 2:6. So let's read. Matter of fact, this is one of my favorite books, and let's just read it. Habakkuk, so obvious. So verse 1, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. That's right. That's talking about a man of the Lord, man. Starting with Habakkuk and all the prophets, man. Lord willing, we are those men. We're proving it because we're prophesying and we're bringing out prophecies, just like America's debt. So, and that's standing upon your watch, because in the latter days you're supposed to be looking out for the prophecies, which, and this show is pointing out a nation full of debt. All right. So we're standing upon the watch, reporting on this, man. Right, just like when you stand in a watchtower, you stand in a watchtower, the guard, to defend the city, from being besieged from the enemy. So it says, and I will answer when I'm reproved. So, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me. That's talking about the Most High. So, how is the Most High speaking? Through the prophecies. It says, "When I will answer when I'm reproved." And first of all, you can't prophesy without being corrected. And how you correct it? By repenting, right? Acknowledging the the laws that the Lord has given us, and acknowledging His ways, and denouncing your former ways, man. All right, that's how you reprove. Repenting. You have to repent to do the Lord's work. All right. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. What's the vision? The vision are the prophecies. All right. And again, one of the major prophecies is the destruction of America, World War III, which you see what's going on within Israel, Hamas, right? Which is, we already know what's going on with that. Inside job is pretty obvious. Nobody's believing in their lies anymore, or buying their narrative. The hypocrisy is at a all-time high. People can see through it now, man. So it says the vision make a plain, vision make a plain about tables, that he may run that readeth it. Yeah, so it's getting plain, man. So plain that Stevie Wonder could see this clearly, man. It's becoming plain, okay? More and more people are believing in the prophecies and the scriptures, or that we're in the last days, okay? They might not have the total truth, but they know that we're in the last days. Okay, it's getting too obvious, man. People are seeing a war is gonna break out. It's gonna escalate. Well, now you say we at war. Didn't you say that? You got Russia threatening America, China threatening America. Anyway, it says, for the vision is yet for the point of time. At the end it shall speak and not lie. And it's been speaking, and it's speaking louder and clearer. Though it tarry, wait for it. Yeah, though it seems like it's taking a while, wait for it, because it should surely come to pass. Surely means as a matter of a fact, like undeniable. Just like what time is it, like 9:30 right now, which is way past my bedtime. I know when I wake up the sun's gonna I'm gonna be up and still when it's night, but we know that the sun's gonna rise in the morning, right? It's like the prophets know. The spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai know there will be a world's war. Right? It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. That's right. Okay. Everybody can see that this thing in Hamas and what these Edomites who claim to be the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're not just people. Because what's going on over there, they're clearly at fault. All right. A lot of fishy news, media, and reports are going on over there. What's going on? A lot of false accusations, false videos, right? False reporting. But it says, but his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. So the true people of justice, which has come from the laws, are the ones who were given the laws in the first place, which is the nation of Israel before them all, who are following the laws. Right? And the only way you can follow laws is to believe in Yahushua. All right? And if you do, that's called faith. All right, and the only ones who can have faith are Israelites. All right, no matter what color you are, if you believe in the name of Yahweh Shai, by default you are an Israelite. All right, you got the spirit of an Israelite, man. Period. Right? It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not right in him. The just shall live by faith." Faith that he's going to come back, right, and save us out of the destruction of America, man, which is going to be World War III. Right? He, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, his philosophy, false philosophy of freedom. He is a proud man, right? And who's that talking about? Of course, Esau. You Edomites, you Rothschilds, Rockefeller. Neither keepeth at home, right? That's right. He's in other countries dictating what to do, right? He don't stay home. He don't stay in his own nation, right? Who's that talking about? All right, it's too obvious. Who enlargeth his desire as hell? What does hell mean? The grave. So everywhere this man goes is death, war, killing, stealing, right? Everything he desires, it just turns into death. If he desires his land, it turns into death. He sets up puppet leaders, buys people out, mass people die. Or can become poor, right? Or sin, right? He makes nations a sinful nation. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and his end is as death, he cannot be satisfied. But gathereth to him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And he can't be satisfied, man. No matter what, how much power he has, old money going back to the Renaissance, you know, the technology, the riches that they had, the power and the media and all this, they still want more. They cannot be satisfied, man. I mean, don't you know, we just saw the debt clock. Don't you know that the Rothschilds, they can wipe out America's debt, and we just saw what it is. They can wipe it out. That's how much money they got, man. You see? As crazy as it sounds crazy, but they have that much, man. Well over $500 trillion. That's an old stat from 20 years ago. So what do they have now? America's only 33 trillion. They could fix the whole world's debt if they wanted to, but they're not. Okay, because they're the devil. Now the point of the show, remember Stevie Wonder could see this. It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his?" Right? And that's what's happening. All these nations are saying, you know, look, like Africa kicking out France, demanding their land and money back. You know, nations requesting their lands back, money back. Africa wants their land back. Stealing resources. You know, that's what America does, man. And so these are the nations that are taking notice, man, and saying, look, man, you guys are a hypocritical nation, man. All right? They said, and they're a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. And first of all, you stole a land, America, from our brothers, Native Americans. Right? It says, and how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, that's the point. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now this is the prophecy right here we're reading that Stevie Wonder can see. Now if you go to that, it says, how long? And him that ladeth. Ladeth means to what? In the Hebrew it's kabod, which means to honor, glorify, honorable, heavy, hardened, glorious, soar, promote, made heavy, chargeable, great, many, heavier. So it means heavy debt. Or heavy means real heavy, made heavy. All right, real heavy, or glorified. All right? So it means glorified or real heavy. To be heavy, to be heavy, to be insensible, to be dull, to be honored, to be made heavy, to get oneself glory or honor. All right. So they glory in debt. They're like the most glorious debt nation in the world's history. Okay, so let's go back. They're heavy. They're the glory of debtors, man. It says, and ladeth himself with thick clay, heavy in himself in thick clay. And what's that thick clay? What are they heavy in? What do they glory in? Well, America glories in what? And the Hebrew, it's what? Tabat-yat. Tabat-yat. All right, which means thick clay, heavy debts, weight of pledges. Okay. So that's it right there. All right. So pledge means a promise. All right, like when you say, yo, I'm going to give you that money back. I owe you 100. I promise you I'm going to give you that back. So that's a pledge. And they have many pledges. So, which means you're in debt to that person. You're indebted. All right. It says, hence low debt, which is, yeah, so it's a pledge. So it's a promise. So they're heavy in promises, which means owing. They're heavy in owing. They glorify in false promises, false. They're in debt. You get it. Just repeat myself. All right. All right, and that was basically it. It says, yeah, and that was it, man. All right, just wanted to bring out that Stevie Wonder. All right, you can see that America is Habakkuk 2:6. Why? Because they're heavy in debt. Let's go back to the debt clock. We can prove that. They're heavy in debt. Look at that. That was enough. Let's go here. They're heavy in debt. That's heavy. And remember, that's not even a true debt. The true debt is even worse. Or hidden debt. Okay. So check out this site. Self-explanatory. And again, Stevie Wonder can see that America's Habakkuk 2:6. All right, they fit it. That is what that's talking about. All right, and as you read in Habakkuk, we're supposed to run that readeth it. We're supposed to run, get ourselves right, repent, and report on this, man. Stand upon our watch and report these attributes of the or these characteristics of a nation that's going to be destroyed. And one of the characteristics is heavy debt. All right, so I repeated myself enough. Lord willing, the show is edifying. Lord willing, the Kodash requires with the show, and I pray you edified. So shalom. All right, shalom. Shalom to the Akim, Yapa Akim and the Akwith. Shalom, Yasha Allah. All right, double honors to my apostles and elders of GMS. And shalom to you brothers in this country and all over the world. Prophesying the true name, Yahweh Shemeshah. Shalom, Yasha. Shalom.